What if I told you that the greatest minds throughout history have agreed on one thing that modern scholars claim is unnecessary? Today, we explore why faith, not religious dogma, but something deeper, might be the most essential element of human existence. The scholarly prejudice. Giuseppe Mazzini, the Italian philosopher and revolutionary, made a bold observation. One of the worst prejudices known is held by the majority of the so-called scholars of our time, who claim that a person can live without faith. This isn't about defending any particular religion. This is about understanding something fundamental about human nature that modern intellectuals have forgotten. Think about it. Throughout every century, in every culture, people have desperately wanted to know about their origins, their purpose, their destiny. This isn't primitive thinking or intellectual weakness. This is the deepest human drive, the need to understand our place in the cosmic story. Mazzini understood that faith satisfies this universal requirement. It provides the framework that connects us to something larger than ourselves, revealing that we share the same source of origin, the same task for our lives, and the same general, final goal. The universal question. Every religion, from the most sophisticated to the most primitive, attempts to answer the same fundamental question. Why do I live? And what is my attitude to the limitless world which surrounds me? This isn't about theology or doctrine. This is about orientation. How do you position yourself in relation to existence itself? What's your stance toward the mystery of being alive in an infinite universe? Notice that this question isn't optional. You're going to have some attitude toward existence, whether you think about it consciously or not. You're going to operate from some assumption about what life means and how you should live it. The difference is whether you choose this orientation deliberately or let it form by accident through cultural drift, social media, and random circumstances. The common core. Here's where it gets beautiful. Ewald Flugel points out something remarkable. At the heart of all religions lies a single unifying truth. Let Persians bear their ta'avids, Jews wear their caps, Christians bear their cross, Muslims bear their sickle moon. But we have to remember that these are all only outer signs. Strip away the symbols, the rituals, the institutional differences, and what do you find? The same core principle requested by every great spiritual teacher in history. Love your neighbor. Manuf, Zoroaster, Buddha, Moses, Socrates, Jesus, St. Paul, Mohammed. Despite living in different centuries, different cultures, different contexts, they all arrived at the same fundamental insight about how human beings should treat each other. This isn't coincidence. This is discovery of something true about the nature of reality and human flourishing. The cost of faithlessness. And then comes the devastating final observation. The life of a person without faith is the life of an animal. This isn't an insult. It's a precise distinction. Animals live entirely in the present moment, driven by immediate needs and instincts. They don't ask why they exist. They don't grapple with purpose or meaning. They don't choose their orientation toward existence. But humans do. We're the creatures who can't help but ask the big questions. When we abandon faith, when we stop seeking answers to questions of meaning and purpose, we don't become more rational. We become less human. We reduce ourselves to sophisticated animals, driven by appetites and immediate gratifications, but cut off from the deeper currents of meaning that make life worth living. your faith choice. So here's your challenge. What is your faith? Not necessarily your religion, but your fundamental orientation toward existence. What do you believe about why you're here and how you should live? Because whether you realize it or not, you're already living from some set of assumptions about these questions. The question is, did you choose them consciously, or did they choose you? If this gave you something to think about, subscribe. I share timeless wisdom like this every week to help you live with more clarity, purpose, and peace. Until next time, live deliberately and believe with intention.